Hello, I'm so excited to work on this idea with you. So I'm going to walk through a sample situation as I understand what you're looking for, and then you can share back with me what I have right or what I don't have right, and we can sort of work together step by step to figure out a solution for this. So this is kind of cool. Okay, so as I'm thinking about what you've told me about the context of your need, is that you have two separate sources of data that you want brought together either into a single source or perhaps multiple sources, but you want, currently you have two separate sources and then somehow they need to mingle together. So to represent that, I have two different Excel files here on the screen that are about, I forget, I just pulled data from files that I had. So what is this supposed to be? Oh, so this is like stuff we're going to sell at a golf club in the pro shop. Yeah, so that's what this is. So we've got like the invoice number, the description, the category, and then price, unit, stuff like that. So I have some data here in this file, this Excel file. Notice the name that I've given it. And then I have a separate sheet here with similar information. Some of it is duplicative, some is not. It's in a separate Excel file, so it's the number 2. It has a different name from it. And then I am going to start a brand new Excel file, blank from the get-go. And I'm going to say, okay, and so bear with me. I'm just thinking this through. I'm going to import both of those into one and then remove the duplicates. Okay, so now I got to remember how we do this. Data, get external data. Oh, right, because it's not going to want, I got to think about this. So under get external data, do you see how it wants it in certain forms? So it wants it as an access, it wants database or text or other sources is like XML. So that's not helpful. So if you want to do it with an import, then let's just, okay, so let's step through that. We can step through that. So I'm going to go back to one of the spreadsheets here. I'm going to get this guy out of the way. So what I can do a file save as, and then I'm just going to save this in a folder. Actually, it takes a minute for my computer to recognize my locations. So I'm going to save it as a CVS. So it's just text with commas to separate the different columns of information. It'll work well for this data to be saved as a CVS because it's already clear, it's clean, it's what we call clean data, so that everything, every record, every row is created in a similar fashion as the row above it, and every row is a record, so every record has the exact same kind of information, right? It's not messy, it's already been cleaned up. That might be a step you have to do. That's a step oftentimes we have to do, is just clean up the data. It's time consuming, but it's got to be done. All right, then it's just warning me that it won't be a workbook. Okay, I'm all right with that. Yeah, I want to keep using that format. Okay, I'm going to go to the second one. I'm going to save that as a CVS. And reasons why you'd want to save it as, reasons why you'd want to save it and then import it is if you have really big data. My examples here are very small data. They're very, what did I do? Ooh, I can't remember which one I chose, but I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, all right. So I have very small sets of data, but I'm pretending that these would be large data sets because usually when we're looking to merge them together, they're bigger. If they were small, we would just copy and paste them. We'd clean them up, copy from one, paste it into the other. That's an option if you have small data sets. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, and yes. All right, now back to my new sheet. Where are you? Here you are. Now I'm ready to import. So get external data, text. There's the first one I did. And so then I just have to step through the wizard. You'll remember this. We had to do this in classes in the past. So it is delimited because characters are separated by commas. We're going to start with row 1. Here, I need to turn this on. The first row is the header information, right? Row 1 is not a record. It's the labels or what we might call the headers. So turn that on. Okay, next. They are separated by a comma. There we go. See how it nicely picks that up? It understands that. Good. Sometimes it's not. It doesn't go so well. You might have to help Excel understand it. It wants to know, I think this next step I have to identify a primary key. Oh no, in this one I get to identify what kind of information it is. So column 1 holds general type of data. It's not a number, it's not text. Let's leave it at general. Because it's an ID, it's a primary key, it's a little bit differently. The next one is general. That could just be text. It is text. It's just a description. The third one is general. That can be text. That's also a description. The next one is currency. General converts numeric data. All right, let's leave it to general and see what it comes up with, right? Because it's currency. This one's text again. This one's currency. I think we're good. All right, so I'm going to click finish. Fingers crossed. Yep, in the existing sheet. Okay. Terrific. Not that hard, right? So let's go ahead and do the next one. So I'm going to click in the next available empty row to import the next set of data. Get external data from text. This one's my second one. Delimit it again because it's comma. It's separated by commas. Next. Ooh, wait a minute. Actually, back. Do not start with row 1 because row 1 has the headers, and I don't need the headers. They already exist. They came in with the first bit of data. So I'm going to say start the import with row 2. Next. Okay, comma. Next. I'm going to leave them all as general, and let's see. It should be smart enough to match it with what's already existing. Let's say finish. Again, fingers crossed. Yep, in A20. Okay, great. So here we have all of the data from both worksheets. And again, yours might be much bigger. It might not be as clean. You can see even though I had empty spots, it was still constructed in a way that Excel recognized it. I'm going to convert this whole kit and caboodle to a table. So I'm going to say insert table. It'll identify it all. Yep, looks good. Oh, right. Yep, we don't want it to point back to the external data. We want it just to stay, yeah. So we'll say yes to that. Oh, I took the wrong. Undo, fiddlesticks, I wasn't reading it properly. Let's try that again. Insert table. Gotta love Excel, it's always a puzzle. Not row 19, I want row, my last row. It's hard to see on the screen here. Bump this up a little bit. My last row is row 37. There we go. Through F37. Okay. Yes. Removing external links. Any links to external sources. So that's a yes. All right, we're getting closer. Now that it's a table, look at here. I'm under the Table Tools Design tab. This is the beauty of a table. I can remove duplicates. So if I were to sort, let's do a sort quick by A to Z. If I sort by ID number, there are some duplicates in here. I can't remember what they are, but somewhere in here, like down here at the bottom, see this X733R14, that's a duplicate. I left some duplicates in here on purpose so we could see that. So I want to say remove duplicates, and you can find duplicates by all of the columns because they're all duplicative. But if you have an ID number, you could just say, well, find the duplicate ID numbers. Because ID numbers are primary keys, there should be no duplicates, right? Otherwise, it's not a primary key. All right, click OK. And it found 3 duplicate values. 33 remain. So now I've cleaned up my data. So I hope this is helpful. If it's probably not an exact match to the needs that you have, but at least it's going to help us get started in this conversation about what your data looks like and what you want to pull out of it. So for our next step, what I'd recommend is I want you to take the Excel sheets that you have, look at the data. If it's not in a table, try to make it fit a table structure so that every column is a field, that column has a name to it. This is the description column. This is the category column. Get your data to fit within that structure, and that's going to require that you also clean up data. so that if things are out of sync, like if this sits over here, that you're going to fix that, right? You're going to clean up all this data. So get your data into sort of what you might consider this table format. Every column is a field, every row is a record. Clean up the data so it fits that. And then from there, then you can email me back and we could talk about how to do that for both of your files. And then we could talk about how to best get to that next step after that. And as always, you can email me if you have any questions at all.